talking about Desert Oak. I think it's Desert Oak's first year doing Taste of El Paso.
It is, and I've been trying to get these guys in for a while, Buzz, because if you've ever had like Central Texas barbecue, and everybody always talks about how Franklin's in Austin has kind of been the industry standard over the years in Texas, Desert Oak has given you basically, I consider it an experience that's the same quality that you're going to get over at Franklin's, except when I was in Austin, I waited 2.5 hours for lunch at Franklin's Barbecue. And it was good, but I said to myself, I can't wait 2.5 hours for anything. And I was kind of upset with myself afterwards.
You can't fly to Austin every time you're in the mood for barbecue either.
That's true, too. Exactly right. So here, you've got the opportunity now to have the same experience. You know, you can cut the wait time down in significant time. Although I've been during their rush hours, they've got a pretty backed up line that'll sometimes go out the door. But
it gets through pretty quick, is what I noticed.
It does.
Because you get in line and you order, and right? Do you still do it that way, Richard? You put it on the plate as you order, and then you get some sides if you want some beans or corn or whatever.
We've got a pretty good system. Everybody behind the counter has a job. So the carver, you give your order to the carver, carves up the meat, slides it down, and then they put your sides on there, and you're checking out. By the time you get to the carver, you're checking out in 3 minutes.
How you said you trained some people to carve. How long would it take, like me, knowing nothing about carving, how long would it take for me to become a master carver under your tutelage?
The way I like to train is at least 2 weeks of shadowing me.
Okay. I thought it might have been like 5 years, like learning to play violin or something.
Maybe if you're trying to figure it out on your own, it could take that long. But no, it's really just like slicing a loaf of bread.
Okay.
You know what's amazing too? The smoker. I mean, you haven't seen the smoker itself, but he had it made for him specially. This wasn't something you just buy in El Paso.
What is unique about the smoker? Did you put any special modifications on it?
Well,
or have it put on? When it
so I designed it just by studying other smokers from barbecue places that I liked. And I have a friend who knows how to weld, and he actually made modifications to my previous smoker, so I had him build this one for me.
Did you pay him in money or barbecue or
both?
Yeah, a little bit of each. Okay.
Why don't you tell? I mean, if you want a really, really good smoker, what do they run generally? Ballpark.
One like that, about 20,000.
Yeah. So this would be like if you were going to enter competitions and do it professionally.
No, this wouldn't even be a competition smoker. It's way too big for that. You'd want something about half to a quarter of the size of competition.
And was that the smoker you were using when you had the food truck?
It was 1/4 the size of this one, yes.
Okay, so it's not the same smoker, but it's just a scaled down version is the one you had at the food truck.
No, because that one was a custom smoker, but I found it on Craigslist from some guy east of Dallas that built smokers. I went and bought that one.
Did you have to go out and get it?
Yeah, I had
it's
to
like
go out
buying
and
a car on eBay. You got to go out and get it.
You got to, you got to go out and get it, and then I had to have somebody make modifications to it to make it work the way I wanted it to. And so I decided if we're going to go bigger, I'm going to design this whole thing from the ground up, and that's it. Took 2 years to get it done.
Brandon, are you thinking of the Simpsons episode where Homer was supposed to spend all the money on like $20,000 to get a new car, and he bought a smoker from a guy?
Or the one when he's trying to install his own grill in the backyard and he ends up destroying it and becomes an artiste.
Mm-hmm. How did you get started smoking, barbecuing? Was it something you've always done?
No. So when I met Suzanne, she asked me if I had a grill. And we were at my house. This was when I...
That seems like an odd question for a first date. I don't know if it was the first...
Well, she said, let's cook some steaks. I said, yeah, I got a grill in the garage. I never use it. It was a gas grill.
Get a microphone. Suzanne is here, too.
And
like you just met? This was like the first question on Tinder. Do you got a grill?
That was one of her requirements.
No, I just asked him if he had a grill so we can get some steaks on it. And he brought out a little Weber that goes...
Oh, like a charcoal grill?
Yeah, just a little one that goes on a tailgate for a tailgate party. So
I bought that.
Right?
No, I bought that because she made fun of my gas grill that I never used. So I said, here. She said, this is not a grill. You need charcoal. So we went and bought that, and then said, here, how about this? And that's how I actually learned how to grill. And it was her basically introducing me to that concept. Like, what is this? Cooking with fire? And then eventually I just got carried away. When we moved to El Paso, we went to Academy to buy patio furniture one day. And I saw the smoker display. I said, hey, I'm going to be here for a few minutes. And then next thing we know, I said, hey, I'm getting this. I don't care if we have to argue about it. We're going home with this.
So I got to really, it's good. I mean, it's not anything spectacular, but it's built in, and it's not propane. It's I guess it's gas. Yeah, it's a gas thing. So and it's nice, but I was at a store. I'm just telling you this to ask you if you've ever seen it. So they had a giant metal grill that was in the shape of like a life-size bull. Like the grill looked like a bull. Have you ever seen anything like that?
Yeah.
They had it at Home Goods. I was so tempted to buy it, even though I have a grill, because it was just so. Would that have been a good grill, or is it more just like a novelty item?
I think you need it.
Yeah,
You should
I
got
really
it.
did, and I told my girlfriend that I really need it, and she's like, "Why?" Since you already got your grill, and I said, "Well, because
I need it.
like in ancient Babylon, there was a guy."
Are you talking about the bull
the
that
torture
they
device?
would, and they would burn people in
Yes,
it?
yes. I said because in ancient Babylon there was this guy who invented something called the brazen bull, and what you would do is you would torture.
I should be so excited.
You know, as you do back in the olden days, and so the king took it and made the guy who invented it the first victim because he was like, anybody that's that sick deserves to die in their own thing. So that's
You would like burn the people in it, and your screams would come out,
and it would sound like a bull bawling. Now, why am I telling you this? Because my girlfriend, after I told her all that, still didn't want me to get the thing. All right, so
There's a movie where they do a whole scene of that. What movie is it?
I think I saw it on an episode of Drunk History one time.
Oh, it was in one of those, I don't know, Perseus or one of the gods movies, but they like burned some girls inside of that thing.
Oh God!
And then like the demigod rescues them before they die.
I'm going back. I'm going back to Home Goods and getting that grill.
Go. Greek mythology,
Yeah,
They got this.
Thought you meant you're going back in time.
Go back in time, get the original thing. Put some burgers out there on it. So brisket, is that like your main thing? Is that kind of what you're known for? Or are there other meats that you really, kind of hang your hat on?
I guess brisket is the crown jewel, but everybody has their favorite, and we put a lot of effort into everything we make it, and nothing is just to check a box. But when we first started the food truck, it was just brisket and ribs, and that was the only two meats. Now we have 7 proteins, so we've expanded quite a bit, and nothing hits our menu until we go through test trials and do all kinds of stuff and make sure that it's perfect, at least in our opinion, before we serve it.
So there are a lot of places that if you're talking about brisket, they'll say, do you want a first cut or a second cut of brisket? Now, which one is the super moist fatty one?
Well, we call it the fatty. It has more marbling than the lean. Some people call it the moist. I don't like to call it the moist because that implies that the lean isn't moist.
Right. It makes you think, well, it's dry, which it's not dry, but the other one is just...
It has heavier marbling. And we use prime beef, so it's all pretty well marbled, but the fatty side does have more. So, and you can tell it's different, but everybody has their favorite.
Which do you think most people go for if it's between the two cuts?
Most people go for the fatty, but it's not
good. I'm glad I'm not the only one.
No,
that's what I go for.
And I personally don't have a favorite. When I go to other barbecue places, I always get both. And sometimes
can you do that? You get like half your order one, half the order the other one. I never even thought of that.
You can get one slice of each. Most people think that because the price is listed by the pound, that you have to buy a pound. Yeah,
you get what you can buy brisket by the slice.
You can get whatever you want. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if they know that at Rudy's, but I'll let them know. Are you talking about just your place? Or?
No, that's every place that sells by the pound. Yeah.
What?
Now, see, I've learned that's a life hack. I didn't know
Here's
that.
the thing, I don't think you realize this. Like one of their slices weighs about a quarter pound, right?
A slice of fatty on an average brisket weighs a quarter pound.
Okay.
Oh,
Well,
okay.
that's
He's
easy.
imagining the teeny tiny little
The one
slice.
where they got to give
Like
you 5
salami?
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah,
No.
All right, so you brought
Buzz is like, that's some self-restraint.
you brought some meat in. What did you bring? Some brisket?
I brought a brisket.
And you're going to carve it up here?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead and bring it out and carve it. And I'll continue.
And if
to
you want to
ask
head
some
to our live
questions.
stream too, we are going to go ahead and
You can
we have
see Richard and Suzanne Funk from Desert Oak. You can see them carving side of brisket. And they are going to be at Taste of El Paso tomorrow night. Oh, boy. Even that butcher paper sounds delicious. Can somebody Suzanne, you're close to the microphone. Do you know what's going to be on at your station? Like, what are you bringing out tomorrow for Taste of El Paso? Yeah.
We're bringing pulled pork, brisket, and green chili cheese rice.
Okay, and everybody who goes through the line at Desert Oak gets a little bit of the pulled pork and a little bit of the brisket.
Yes.
Okay, and
Yes.
what was the side item?
Green chili cheese rice.
Okay, green chili cheese rice.
Now,
sounds
Suzanne
so
makes all
good.
the sides. All the sides that have come up with her recipes, and then she also has, I believe, you do a banana pudding recipe too, don't you?
Yes, that's our dessert for the restaurant is the banana pudding.
So, when you were single, was that one of your requirements? Like for a potential mate, was they got to cook? They got to
gotta
have
be
a
able
really
to
kick-ass grill and be
yeah.
able to cook some.
Yeah,
barbecue.
that's about right.
All right, all right. Well, I'll let you guys get to it, and we'll come back. You know what Richard said before they started? You'll be able to smell it in other parts of the building. And I didn't think he was serious, but the aroma is like filling up this room in the most delicious way you can imagine. All right, 1320 Zaragoza's Desert Oak Barbecue, and they'll be just one of the great restaurants participating at Taste of El Paso. So let's let the Funks get to what they're doing. We'll come back. Lisa's
Oh
got.
my gosh. Yeah.
Look at that. Lisa's got.
Okay,
the
this
rock
is
news.
where this is not the slice you were thinking of, right?
No, that's the equivalent of like 3 or 4 slices that
Yeah.
you get at a different place.
And that's the thing, yeah. When they said one slice, I'm like, how big is the slice?